Okay, King Speed's going to do a pivot today. Listen, basketball is my number one sport. Sport that I care about the most. The Knicks are the team I care about the most. My local teams are the Duke Blue Devils, and I know my boy CW is a Carolina fan, as most Carolinians. But I'm a Duke Blue Devil, so they're in there in my high up in my rankings. The Duke's actually having a great season this year with Cooper Flag leading the way. But today is NFC Championship Day. And I mean, it's Championship Sunday, and the Philadelphia Eagles has just clinched the Super Bowl. And with my Giants being the technically third worst team in the league this year, you haven't gotten me to watch much NFL football. I've watched 0 playoff games. 0 minutes of the playoffs. I just checked in on the score and saw that Saquon Barkley rushed for 3 touchdowns, and that gets into the crux of what I'm getting into today. Listen, Saquon Barkley. See, one thing about this channel with me. And when I say I'm King Speech, I say I'm King Speech because one thing about me, I stand 10 toes down on my takes. I stand 10 down on my takes. Let me stop saying them so much. And I'll say things years ago that have proven to be correct. Saquon Barkley had a great career with the Giants. Albeit an injury-plagued career. Spent about 2 large portions of 2 of his 5 seasons with the Giants injured. And, this is an era where in football where the running back has a shelf life. He has a short shelf life. So the idea of making a long-term investment in running backs is kind of frowned upon. They're never going to get the $20-30 million. They're never going to get the money that quarterbacks get. People expect them to basically fall off the shelf at 28, 27, 26, around that area. And it's kind of unfair to it's kind of unfair to the position. Because first of all, your playing career is basically from the time you graduate high school until the time time you retire in football, retire from the NFL. I mean, and you're talking about basically a 10, 12, 13 year shelf life, 3 of which you have to give to the NCAA. Based on NFL rules, because they won't draft you until your 3rd year out of high school. So in Saquon Barkley's case, this guy is a once in a generation type talent with the Giants. Who I said back in the draft, 2018? I guess it was 7 years ago. That the Giants were absolutely correct to draft Saquon Barkley, the next, like Bo Jackson and Barry Sanders in 1. That was what the scouting said. I mean, that's kind of what I feel and seen of his career. Albeit he's been injured, the ACL tear. But he's come back and become a dominant player. I mean, really, how is he not the NFL MVP this year? The Eagles are in the Super Bowl. And, everybody's like, well, you got to get a quarterback. Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield went 1 and 3 respectively that year. And I said, we had to get Saquon Barkley was the pick. Why didn't you pick a quarterback, Giants? Well, Sam Baker and Sam have had salvageable careers. They've had decent seasons, but they're not Saquon Barkley. And Saquon Barkley, despite his injuries, has come on to have a dominant type of career. He is really that guy. This season has proved it. And so, there was a controversy when he went, the Giants had to make their pivot. Really, in hindsight, it looks pretty stupid. But in a way, actually, maybe not, because who knows if Barkley has the season that he had. Certainly, he would have been better than what we replaced him with. But he would not have had the season what he had playing with the Giants, because the Eagles are a superior team, superior line, superior quarterback, everything else. I am one of the people who believe in Daniel Jones. But I've also said, if you don't protect Daniel Jones, if you give him no weapons to throw to, it's never going to work. At this point, yeah, he did have he actually, the first 3-4 weeks of the season, it looked like Malik Neighbors was going to set a record. He might have set the rookie record for receptions. I don't know. No, he missed two weeks with injuries. Then again, I haven't watched football all season. Basically, after I think the third Giants game, and I really haven't had time to get into much football. But I follow it, and so I follow it. A lot of times you'll see that I follow sports more than I watch it, and I watch sporadically and get a good enough idea of what's going on. Again, I barely knew I didn't know who was in the college football finals. I hadn't been following the college football playoffs or anything like that, but I still can give a take on it. And I'm giving a take on the whole Saquon Barkley thing, because one thing that I know in this era of free agency football, you have to. I'll put it this way, and the Cowboy fans, I know there's some Cowboy fans out there, and Cowboy fans, poor guys. But most of you guys don't understand, and I'm not being arrogant by saying this, most of you guys don't understand how to build a championship in this era. And it's a free agent era. You have to spend your money wisely, and this is kind of to the Giants fans as well. You have to spend your money wisely. Look, the Giants would have been it would have been wise to sign Barkley. It would have been wise to outbid. It would have been wise to outbid the Eagles, even if he wouldn't have been this 2,000 yard in 16 games, Barkley. Even if he would have got injured playing, carrying the load on our, sorry team. But again, we were right to draft him. Unfortunately, the issue was we just didn't build the team around him to take advantage of his otherworldly talents. And, so we were right to pass on the quarterbacks, because the quarterbacks were not can't miss. They were not slam dunks. They were salvageable, like Darnold and Mayfield are salvageable. They're not. Again, Barkley, we knew, was a can't miss at his talent. Barkley was absolutely a can't miss with his talent. And, so, the idea, like I said, people will say draft a quarterback. No, I don't believe in that draft a quarterback thing. And we draft why would you, the statement, why would you draft a running back and not draft a quarterback when you need a quarterback? And remember, this is at the time, I believe, Eli was still playing. Yeah, because Eli didn't retire until they made the rule to Daniel Jones. We didn't get Daniel Jones until 2019. So, no, the idea was, and we still had Odell Beckham at one point as well. So it's like, and we traded Odell Beckham right after we drafted Barkley. But the idea, hold on. The idea is, drafting a quarterback or drafting Saquon Barkley. See, that's the idea. Saquon Barkley is not a running back. See, I would have told you drafting Mahomes you didn't wasn't just drafting a quarterback. You were drafting. I was right on Mahomes. I believe that Mahomes was going to be a game-changing, all-world, all-time great. Same way I believe Barkley. I think Darnold and Baker Mayfield were a quarterback. They're just quarterbacks. They're running of the mill. They were not can't miss talents. Saquon was a can't miss talent. And again, this is a caution because I believe we did the right thing last year, drafting Malik Neighbors, a wide receiver. Yes, he's a wide receiver, but I think he's going to be a game-changing. I'm not going to say he's going to be the same all-time great that Barkley is going to be, and already has kind of proven that he is. But he's going to be he's a special talent. So sometimes you got to go out and get that special talent, but it's also a precaution that you need to build the right team around when you have these all-world, otherworldly talents. And that's the idea. That's the rant that I'm getting into. And I think, with the Giants now, with the third pick, the Giants are loaded up in draft pick. We're going into a new era, new management and everything else, that it will behoove us to do this the right way, to do this rebuild the right way. I wish, honestly, I can't say that I'm mad at the Eagles getting to the Super Bowl with Saquon Barkley, our guy, because I'm happy for Saquon Barkley. He deserves this. The world deserves to see how great and special he is. So salute to the man Barkley. Salute to your boy Barkley. Again, some good things are coming. Barkley has some GOAT status. I mean, real talk. He's probably the best running back I've seen since you know who. And we'll get into the you know who maybe later on. I'll do some football shit. But yeah, man, salute to the Eagles, bro. I'm not a Giant fan that hate the Eagles. Like, actually, I hate the Cowboys. Some Giant fans hate the Eagles because they're right down the turnpike. I hate the Cowboys. I hate everything they stand for. I don't even hate the Commanders. I was actually happy to see two NFC East teams doing their thing. And actually, I do believe in a couple of years the Giants will, and I'm putting crossing my fingers on this, but a couple of years I believe the Giants will actually build something. And I think the NFC East, and probably, the Cowboys will always be the Cowboys. I think the NFC East is going to be a hell of a division going forward, man. I think the Giants will rebuild really quickly. In a couple of years, we'll probably be in that mix. So, salute to Barkley. Congratulations to the Eagles. I'll actually be rooting for them. I'll be rooting for maybe, unless it's the Bills. I think I would root for the Bills over the Eagles, but I would probably predict the Eagles. But salute to them.